Listen, boys, this is the morning show for men. If you are looking to get yourself going here, this is the show for you guys. If you guys stay in bed for 9 minutes throughout the whole year, you're going to be 56 hours behind the guy over there. Get up and get after it here today.
My dad wanted to name me Garth, and that was way before Garth Brooks. So Garth wasn't a cool name yet. And my mom was like, it sounds like someone's throwing up. So then my dad said, okay, my mom said, I like John. And my dad said, well, as long as there's no H, we got a deal. He basically said to her, it's him or me, you choose.
Oh, and, empathy, understanding, and support.
You're going to see me mad and raise my voice about as many thumbs as you have on your hands. He gives me that look through Terry. It's unbelievable. That's like the identical look. I'm like, damn, she gives me that look, and I'm like, son of a bitch. I've taken my fatherhood to where I don't see any of my kids, DNA or not, differently. I treat them all. I tell them I love them the same. Expectations can kind of be a killer. Your kid is going to kind of have expectations of you, whether you realize it or not. Their parents are only going to expect from you what you've proven to be able to provide for them.
So it's like, I don't even see that. I just see family,
This is awesome discussion, boys, because this just doesn't happen enough. It doesn't happen enough.
Once you get in it and you really apply yourself, you don't see original or not anymore. Just keep on trucking, brother. It's equally amazing.
It's magical when you see your partner fall in love with your children. Right? Yeah. So when I see Lauren loving Piper and Lauren loving Carter, like that it warms me.
The middle daughter, who's DNA me,
yes,
she has a much deeper relationship with Terry than she does her DNA mother.
No kidding.
Oh, really? Yeah, not even comparable.
I love it. This is great. Boys, we got to keep, oh man, I fucking love this conversation because nobody talks about these things. Nobody does. You don't need perfect conditions to take action, boys. If you don't find time for your partner, it's just going to go sideways, man.
You got to play both sides of the fence is the way I see it. Yeah. You make sure you have it in your schedule so it doesn't get away from you, but don't be afraid to be spontaneous. Did you just say having a towel and pull it out?
Yeah.
Who the fuck has a towel when you're going to pull it out for the guys?
Things can get messy, right? So you want to have the towel around. So, you got to get the mental stage. You got to have the safe sex scenarios ready. What can we do to stimulate the brain to get them in the mood?
When you truly live in that present, especially in the sexual situation,
yes,
it changes the whole fucking game because you're giving that to them, just like you said. It's a present to them. It's a present to yourself. I'm such a hairy motherfucker. The only thing you're going to see is my fucking ears and the top of my head at this point.
Number one from the Mornings in the Lab team is empty the clip before you do anything else.
You're not going to get the muscle engagement that you want to get, and that leads to lack of results. Now we're trying other things. We're trying quick fixes, flat tummy teas, and all types of BS that are not going to provide you sustainable.
The best kind of workout is just getting something done.
It comes down to what's the best one. It's the where should it be? It should be in the place where you can fit it in, and whether that's the gym, whether that's literally, in your office and locking the door or whatever it is. It's just catching that goddamn sweat.
Right in the middle of his fucking office on the floor was like a lay down lat bar pull down thing. And it's seriously because you got this wonderfully designed office, but then interspersed with his office is all his workout equipment.
You can be effective at home for sure. Now, you'll have to switch the way you work out, right? You'll probably have to do a little bit higher intensity, less rest breaks. If it's a beginner, you could do some calisthenics. You don't even need to be touching weights yet.
You control your environment. You have the variables under control with your body weight. And I did that a ton. Working out with your body weight often, I didn't have any problems with it, but you got to do it. That's the key. It's the discipline of doing it.
You can do a lot with resistance bands, man. That was actually like one of my staples for myself and my clients over the pandemic out in California.
Yeah.
When the gyms were closed for over a year. But anyway, it's all about the muscle engagement. You can do time under tension. You can increase the reps. You can decrease the rest break. But you just put your body under stress.
It's one thing to do it. It's another thing to even think about it.
Yep.
Like what
That's
gave you
because if you have the mindset of doing what other people won't do, this shit comes to mind very quickly.
If you have time to brush your teeth, you have time to work out.
Where are the gains? Where is the progress hiding? The shit hides from us. Well, let me explain to you really simply where to find it. Number one, right here, right now. Not later, not tomorrow. If you're waiting for later and tomorrow, you're missing the shit because it's sitting right in front of you.
I was on my roof at 5 a.m, pouring hot water down my stack that froze over because it's minus 46 degrees Celsius.
I took about 3 steps outside that airplane, man, and I went right back in and said, "You all got to give me a blanket or something," because I had to go about 100 yards over the tarmac. Oh, dude, crazy.
Blended families and all that.
Yeah, I would say it's almost the norm. When you look at the statistics of just the separation and divorces and stuff like that,
Yes.
right? You can start to see when that's hovering around 50%, then, there's going to be a very high percentage then in the future of, blended families and mixed families and all sorts of different dynamics that come with that. I could see how it could go south real quick, like how it could get negative. Fortunately for me, like I said, with the people I've worked with, it's been in a really positive thing and more so from the angle of like, hey, this is the situation that we're in now. We're actually really happy to be in it.
Ego is a good thing, but ego can also get in the way and cause a lot of havoc.
You just got to remember, like, it's not about you, right? I just want to take care of this immediately so everyone else in the house just wakes up and no one knows that there is an issue.
She just remembers growing up with 2 dads, right?
Yes.
And so she called me dad, and then once her dad caught wind of it, he put pressure on her, so she stopped for a while, but then she came back to it. I had to become a really fucking good actor. Really good. It wasn't about me acting on emotion or me acting. It was like, okay, this is what I need to happen. How the fuck do I position myself to get it to happen? What you're looking for is peace. And sometimes it's a different fucking handbook or different playbook, so to speak, because there's no handbook. Sometimes every day.
It's not about me. It's about me trying to provide the best environment for my child. I might have to put my ego on the shelf and go and step up. People can talk about stuff all they want. People are going to believe what you show them. You are what your actions are.
And have you thought about what's best for the child? Have you thought about reaching out to the man who's now going to be that guy?
Your ego or your child? If you really love your child, you don't give a shit about your ego.
Everyone has that capability to become that person that they want to be. So my job is to really help empower them.
The difference between just following someone's direction or actually thinking about something and becoming one with the decision that you need to make, the belief that you're doing the right thing, makes it so much easier than when you're just following a recipe.
It's legs day. It's legs day. All right.
Remove one bad habit and you'll propel yourself forward.
It's not your business that's broken. It's your resistance to change. We need to accept change before we can make change. And if resistance to change is in the way, you're going to have a hard time accepting it. Character, to me, Johnny, is the most important attribute when I'm hiring something. Like,
that's all I need.
Me too. And I can know within, I'll be honest with you, it's like when I met you on the first show. Like when I met you, when I started live in the lab with you and I hung up that show the first time, like about a year ago, I'm like, fuck, I dig this guy. Character's about showing up, right? Because that's
the base. That's the foundation of it.
We're back here in less than 24 hours. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends, myself, John Anderson, Christopher Martin, Jimmy on the buttons. We got a guest tomorrow, guys. We got Scott Stetler. We're going to talk big stones, big lifting, and we're going to talk strongman stuff.